I can remember working at WFBE when we were doing our shows, and the engineers would talk about when Take No Prisoners was on. Because we were on the same night, so we come in, we do ours, and we sort of catch the engineers at the beginning of their shift, and they were going to end their shift with Ben and the guys on Take No Prisoners. And it was interesting to hear them talk about the calls they get and the people that were relating to the show. And I can remember when I was a kid, back during the Punic Wars, and I can remember laying in bed at night, with the radio on, after I was supposed to be in bed, and listening to jazz shows and folk shows, coming out of the, just out of the blue from Detroit or from D.C. or late at night, you get Nashville or New Jersey. I mean, you get these stations coming in. And there was that real sense of reaching out to another world. There was something else out there. And I think of shows like yours and what they must mean to some of your viewers, for whom that is the only thing out of all this super saturated radio, TV, and recorded entertainment stuff that just flows over our society. That may be the only thing out there that they relate to, that they say, yeah, now that I like. I don't like any of this other stuff, but those guys are demented. I like them, Do you get any kind of feedback from your audience?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, in a couple of years of doing programming here at Comcast, I've gotten more feedback on this program than almost anything that I've worked on. Mostly it's keep up the good work. It's nice to see. I've gotten some letters and things. People seem to think it's nice to see, as they put, that side of the arts put on television. Just glad to see somebody putting those type of bands on television. I guess some people just trip through the channels. Most people, as most access programs, they click onto it by accident and say, what in the world is this? Or I caught these guys down at the Capitol Theater last week. What are they doing on television? And they just can't believe it. And they write and they say, gee, I don't know why you guys are doing this, but by all means, keep it up. So again, it's giant fun to know that people like it. And even if I don't know exactly how big the audience is, obviously some of the bands are less mainstream than others, and I guess as long as the people that like that particular band, as long as they like the show, then we're pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I think there's a desire among some people to have conformity, and there's always the move for censorship, the move for restriction. People will say, well, this show is silly, this is vulgar, we shouldn't do this. But it really creates something that needs to be articulated. It fulfills a role. There has always been that role. The thing is, the rebel of one generation becomes the nostalgia of the next. I'm sure that my parents didn't like them going to hear Benny Goodman concerts. I mean, that swing is the devil's music, And now, Benny Goodman, that's sweet music for the elevator, And that's how it is each time. And that the kind of role that you are playing, first of all, it's an honorable role with a great history and a great tradition of its own, even though by your very nature you're non-traditional. That's the tradition.
So sometimes I guess that's something that we use to gauge things is if they like it, fine, but if somebody doesn't like it, then maybe that's all the more reason to put it on, because somebody out there has to like it, So, another note I want to make on the program, the same with any other public access program, it's just amazing the volunteerism that you see in any of these programs going together. We've got all the guys here working hard on this program. Nobody's making bucks doing these programs. They're doing it because they like it.
What? You mean I'm not getting paid?
I've got guys that
Somebody lied to me, by gosh.
I've got guys that come out for Take No Prisoners. First of all, there's Troy Farah from the Capitol Theater. He gives us the building for free, which is just great. Mark Allen, who runs a sound production thing in Flushing, does sound for most of the bands in town. He brings at least equal equipment that I bring on location. On the audio side of things, takes care of the audio, works on it for a couple of days, sets it up the night before, comes in the next day, running all day on sound checks. All I have to do is plug it in and it's nice. Again, all the volunteers that are guarding people from getting burned on lights or pulling cables to get the camera shots that we need. It's just an incredible amount of volunteerism that goes into the program.
When is Take No Prisoners on, for those who want to see?
Take No Prisoners is on every other Tuesday, as we share some time.
Just like us. Well.
Yes, it is. We share time with John Katarski's slot on Tuesday nights. We run every other Tuesday. We air all of our programming twice, so that if you see it the first time, you like it, get your VCR ready for the second one, 9 p.m. And again, the radio programs at midnight on Saturdays. Be sure to tune into that.
That's on WFBE, which is 95.1 FM.
Yes, listener-supported radio.
In East Central Michigan, service of the Flint Community Schools.
You betcha.
Okay. Well, we've been talking with Steve Hester. I want to mention again that if you're interested in doing some public access programming or taking the workshop on how to handle the equipment, the number is 235-6112. That's Steve Hester at Comcast Cablevision. My name is Michael Kelly, and I want to invite you to call our producer, John Katarski, at 238-2824 if you have some hometown movies that you'd like to bring on the program. And for all the guys on the crew, and especially Drew, whose birthday is today, we want to thank you for being with us tonight, and we'll see you next week.